we're about to get Hedda Hardy tattooed by ink master Mark Matthews.
Yes, inside.
Split. I start when you won't quit. My struggle was just a warm up before, but I won't trip. Are you facing the past? The people hurting you. See that person in the mirror, make sure nobody can touch you. You got a fighter in your veins, inside of your core frame, and your mind let it roar. And to those laughing, they're the ones on the floor, so they can tell you that you're nothing, it's building you want more. Holding a face just amazed to get past, breaking, I shaking, I can't stable my legs and hold.
Hey everyone, this is Kerry Stellar from In the Girls Corner, and I am here at Armageddon Tattoo, and we're about to get Hedda Hardy tattooed by ink master Mark Matthews for In the Girls Corner. All right, check it out.
Because I know you got a fight coming up. If I were to pack all that color in, it's gonna take a while to heal. But if I know that if I could just get the outline on there, like you can be back like full contact, like grappling even in like 3 days.
Yeah, but what if like I gotta be full contact tomorrow morning?
Oh, you'll be fine then.
Yeah.
When you said full contact, I thought you meant in
No,
the
I'm
days.
not doing roll. I'm not.
Yeah. If you can, try not to roll for like 3 days.
Okay.
But you can hit pads, you can spar, you know what I mean? You can do your stand-up sparring.
I
try to keep your back off the cage, you know what I mean? Like being in the ring is such a big.
No, train. I got that done. And then went training.
Then you got
It
stabbed.
don't bother me.
It don't bother me.
It don't bother me after training. Like after I get the.
It got badly infected.
Oh, it did?
Badly.
That's because it's
So
bandaged.
Hedda, you want to tell me a little bit about your tattoo and the reasons why you're getting it?
Sure. Like I wanted. There's like a bunch of tattoos that I wanted to get. I've wanted to get the Woo W for a while. One of my cousins, we grew up together, passed away right before I fought Shelly Vincent, actually. And since then, like every time I hear one of these songs, it takes me back to playing handball or sitting in front of his mama's house with a big boombox listening to 36 Chambers, you know. So I wanted this tattoo for a while, and of course, like with the boxing gloves, like that's been on my mind to get that as well.
Now, Mark, I know that you're going to be doing kind of how you can, because Hedda has a fight coming up at Bellator. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you're going to go about the tattoo so that it can heal quickly for her to be able to, train and get her training in for the fight camp.
Well, it's a good chance today we'll just knock out the outline and some black shading just to get the basic foundation of the tattoo down. There's a new healing method that I use. It's a Tegaderm, and what it is, it's a clear, adhesive, waterproof bandage that you can put over the top of the tattoo, and it can stay there for up to like 3 or 4 days, and it just allows the body. It creates a barrier from the environment, so that to minimize the chance of infection. And instead of allowing the tattoo to scab and heal, which is a prolonged healing process, all the blood, coagulants, and plasma and all that come out to turn into a scab are still working their healing magic on top of the tattoo. They're just not being allowed to turn into a solid like a scab. So when she actually takes the bandage off in about 3 or 4 days, the tattoo will look like it's been healed for about 2 or 3 weeks if it would have scabbed.
That's actually really amazing, because the last time I got a tattoo, it was like scab, itched for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, and now the technology has changed so much. Is this something new?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd say it's a few years new, but Tegaderm has been used in the medical field for a long time. Sometimes they use it for just something as small as keeping the IVs in your skin. and sometimes burn victims. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of finding the right medical supplies that cross over well into tattooing. Because at the end of the day, I'm performing minor surgery on her, so I have to treat it seriously. You know?
Absolutely. And Heather, you have a bunch of tattoos. Do they all have a story behind them?
Most of them, like I have my daughter's name. My first tattoo is a Yankee tattoo. I got that when I was about 15. I thought I was going to pitch on the Yankees, so there's that. I got some shamrocks. Like all the girls in my family went one night and we all got shamrock tattoos.
You're Irish?
Yeah.
Liam, how you doing?
I'm good. Excited. Looking forward to my fight.
Now, what has Mark, how long have you guys been getting your tattoos to get Mark been tattooing you coming here, and I know that you've been here for a while, coming to Mark?
Yeah, I mean, so my first tattoo, it started off with Brooklyn Payne. He started my tattoo. He did the outline on the thigh and on the leg, but unfortunately he sadly passed away. But Mark is a good friend of Brooklyn. He's been training, he's been tattooing with him for years. So it was like for the next, I think it was nice of him to he can put his spin on something that Brooklyn started, and it's kind of like a remembrance piece to him. And we started the tattoo 2 years ago. It came up on the thing on my phone. 2 years I've been going, but with fight camps and trying to find a tattooist and things like that. So me and Mark, about a year now, I think we've been going at it.
That's really, really awesome. Can you tell me a little bit about your pieces and what they mean to you? I know you said you got a lot of skulls going on, and I see that you got the cage back here. I don't want to touch you. Yeah. But you got some really, really cool pieces. Is there anything you could tell us about them?
I mean, everyone always says they have meaning behind tattoos. I got this because I like it, But I mean, if there's any... If there is going to have some meaning, I say there's good with the flowers behind evil, with the skulls and this. The cage is what I do. I've got Gracie here, which is my club, and then the sun and the sky. So it didn't. There was a whole load of pieces which I just kind of made an art. But my leg is this is what Mark's actually doing right now.
Oh, that is
so
beautiful.
But then it goes all the way. So this is the piece that Brooklyn started this, and he did the outline of the head. But then Mark came in and put his spin on it, and well, we've been going from...
Are you going to do a whole sleeve out of it? Is that your plan?
The whole leg is going to get covered up.
Oh, I cannot wait.
I don't actually want to see any skin on my right leg.
Why not? Now, was anything more painful than the other? Because I know that on bone and muscle with the nerve ending, sometimes some could be just a little bit worse than, something else.
The shin. The front of the shin going down here, I felt that.
I could imagine considering taking, blocking a kick or something, a low kick, a bone to bone is not fun. So I can imagine a needle on there really wouldn't be too much fun either.
No, it rattles around. I start feeling it in my back, my leg, and my arms. I don't know. It's a lot of pain everywhere. They hurt, the tattoos they do hurt a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely, but not as. I mean, comparatively, it's funny because you hear people say that they hurt, and then you're in the cage getting, punched in the face, punching people in the face, submission attempts and all that stuff.
That I don't mind. I don't mind the fighting part. Tattooing because we go for like 7-hour sittings. It's just non-stop, over and over and over and over again, and it's like, all right, man, if you're nearly finished, we're gonna have a little bit of a break, but you I don't know. We seem to go back and get more of them done, so there's something a little bit nuts about it,
Hey everyone, this is Kerry Stellar from In the Girls Corner, and I'm here with my co-host and our very special guest, Heather Hardy. And this is Nicole Monaco and Jennie Nedell. And we're here at Acc-Mma, and we're going to find out a little bit more about Heather's fight career than we already know. And thank you so much for coming in, Heather. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
I'll start out. How has it been with your transition from boxing to MMA? some people don't seamlessly seem to do it, but you have transitioned just seamlessly, like you can believe.
I kind of had no choice. I had to go in face first, right? I'm 35, and they offered me the fight, and I realized like it's now or never. I knew that I was going in with only the skill of boxing and how to play catch up with the rest of the sports, which kind of showed in my last fight, right? But I've been working really hard, and I'm willing to put the work in and learn on the job.
We love that.
Awesome. You don't look 35 at all, so bless your heart for that. But I'm like new to all of MMA, so this is a learning experience for me. But for the average person, I'd like to know, what's the day in the life for you? Like, how do you wake up and start your day? Like, what gets your brain going to get you to the next?
She's laughing because she knows it never ends. Like, I'm a mom too. I'm a single mom, so I'm out of the house by 6 o'clock in the morning, and I usually don't get home till like 8:30 at night. And I was just talking about this with my manager. It's just so challenging. Being a professional boxer, I never made any money. Like, I went to 20, I had two titles, two division, two-time champion, and I never made any money. So I'm still working 3 jobs around doing 3 and sometimes 4 hours of training for my fights, sparring, and then taking care of my kid.
Do you like any of the 3 jobs that you're at?
I teach boxing and kickboxing and self-defense for women and stuff, so I love my job.
Oh, that's
but sometimes, as much as you love your job, I love taking naps too.
I blame you.
Jenny, you know Heather a very, very long time. You guys have trained together. You guys, I have looked into your records, and I know you guys fought in a long, very long time ago. You actually fought. So what can you guys talk about the importance of having a female camaraderie in training together and having women that have a strong relationship, because it seems to be lost right now in the world?
Well, I think it's really important because it's like, we're a community of women who have the same problems, the same likes, the same dislikes, the same awkwardness in social situations. Like, fighters are fighters, and one thing that I tell all my students, at least when I teach, is like, touch gloves with your partner, because regardless of who you are or where you came from, in this room you all have one thing in common. And for fighters, it's the same thing. Like, nobody knows, like a fighter, what it's like when you got to get up on fight week and you got 6 pounds to go and you're exhausted and you're crying and you got your period and like all these horrible things are happening. You just need your best friend to be like, girl, what did you tell me last month when I was there? Put you back in their lane. So you got to support each other.
That's awesome.
It really can be make or break though in a camp, 100%. I'll have a horrible day and I'll get a stupid meme that just makes me laugh out loud from her because she gets it.
Yeah.
You need people on that level instead of like every other, I can say whatever?
Yeah.
Any other asshole that's looking to put you down and take a bad day and make it worse. You need people. Like, I'm so grateful to have that.
You have to find your tribe, and stick together.
It's true.
Find your group chat.
We had a little joke
Find your
about that
homegirls.
earlier.
It's true, and it's so important. I mean, right now I have nieces, you have a daughter, and I get so upset when I hear stories that they come home with girls that pick on each, but really it shouldn't be like that. And I remember for so long I would tell people, I don't have girlfriends, I don't like women, and now I'm in a whole different realm where I am so glad to be surrounded by strong women all the time that are so supportive of me and what I do, so I'm glad to give it back and get you guys out there and get sponsorships for people and get people out to the community that doesn't know you.
I think that 2017 and going into 2018 is the year that women join together. It's an exciting time to be a woman. And I think for so long, and I use the term lightly, society, whether it's women in sports or women in entertainment, have made it so that women feel like there's only room for one of us to win or one of us to be successful. So we all wound up fighting each other for that one spot. And I think now we're at a time where we realize all of us can win, all of us can be good, we can all be good together, and fuck all them guys who said we only get one spot. We deserve all the spots.
Absolutely, and I do. I said that there's a change from 2017 to 2018, and I've been feeling it majorly for the last couple weeks, and I've been seeing something brewing, and I think it's such a beautiful thing to see women coming together the way we are. And I see, like I said, women training together all the time, and it really bring it back to Rose Namajunas fighting Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I love Joanna, but I saw such a big change in her, and I feel like that was such a big part of her loss. my just personal opinion, I could be wrong. It might not be at all of it, but you know, I feel like there's an importance to get that out there that maybe young women don't know. And there's, you know, parents that are afraid to put their kids into martial arts or boxing. And look at you, you still look beautiful. We all, you know, I mean, what would you say to them?
Well, a lot of people want to send me their daughters, and I tell them, like, I might never teach your daughter how to fight, but I'll teach your daughter how to survive, right? Like, you go through where you have, like Jennie said, like the worst day, the worst camp. It's just reminding you of all the things that you are strong enough to endure. Like, your mind is so much stronger than your body. If this tells you you can do it, you can do it. And martial arts forces you to learn that. So I love the idea that my daughter knows, like, nothing can mess with her. Because if I survived all these things, I can survive anything.
Does your daughter come to your classes or anything like
No,
that?
my daughter is like a typical kid who thinks her mom is a total dork, right? like she doesn't think I'm cool. Like, I'm like, oh, Annie, I'm on TV, and she's like, whatever, you know.
She's gonna think you're the coolest thing when she gets older.
I know.
She's like, that's my mom.
I know. I tell her, your friends think I'm cool.
Yeah.
That's true, but I say, you know what? If your kid thinks you're like the coolest person in the world and goes like, well, my mom's the best and all this stuff, maybe you're not doing the right job, because your daughter and kids should say, you know, my mom, because it's, you know, you want to be that hard, you know, that disciplinary and that, like, and you do want to have that, like, fun, light time, and I can't see you not having a great time with your daughter.
Yeah, we're friends, but I'm still mom.
Where do you teach your classes?
In Brooklyn, I teach at Gleason's, I teach at Shadowbox in Dumbo, and I teach at Shadowbox in Flatiron.
Awesome.
So she's
Take
a
a class. I was gonna say, because I want to survive.
You can. Not just survive, thrive.
Thriving, yes.
Survive. Give me the eye of the tiger, which I'm wearing over here.
It's
the
the
plate in my head.
2018.
I got it going.
It is. It's the year of thriving. I actually really, really, really like that. And I know Jennie has a fight coming up. Not too totally soon, but you do. And Heather, you've been doing MMA for the last couple fights. Do you have any plans on going back to boxing?
Yes, I definitely want to get back in the cage, which I'm going to be doing soon. I just can't release the date yet because they won't let me. But right after that, I'll be getting in at the Barclays Center, back in the ring. You know, I love boxing. You can never take the boxing out of my heart.
Oh, we're gonna have to get press passes to that at the Barclays Center. That's awesome. Is there like a huge difference between the two worlds? I know that there is, because mixed martial arts has so many different things in it, but I mean in the worlds in general of the athleticism and, you know, like the people you train with and the camaraderie. Is there a major difference between boxing and MMA?
Well, like I said, like most women in the sports are very helpful to one another. I have my friends in the boxing gym, and I'm making all sorts of new friends in my MMA gym. The biggest difference, I would say, I forgot the question.
Really, just between people in boxing and people in MMA, is there a big difference?
There really isn't. Like, you know, like in the professional world of boxing, of course, there's a real difference because girls aren't making any money, and we're starting to see like Clarissa's doing main events, which is awesome, and I love to see it. But there are so many of us, and a lot of us are not making any money, so that's not okay, right? Whereas in MMA, women are kind of given the same opportunities as men. As far as in the gym goes, like, I never walked into a boxing gym and felt like I wasn't at home, you know, because men in the gym see how hard women work, and half the time they're like, shit, Heather, I wish I had your work ethic, right? And they know damn well they're making more money than I am, and they ain't doing all the things. They ain't taking their kid to school and going to PTA meetings, you know?
And this is the year of that change. At least I feel like it is, where women are going to be making, boxers, athletes, us, we're all going to be making the money that we deserve. Because you want to know what? For too long, and this is just in my personal opinion, I had done modeling back in the day, and I remember seeing the TF, and it was trade for. And that, you know, there is something to be said for bartering and trading a service for a service, but there's also something to be said for getting paid for what you do and what you deserve in your craft and what you've done. So I feel like that we almost, as women, in a way, set ourselves up to do that. And now I feel like there's a time that we should be going, no, I deserve this.
Right. I mean, like, so often as a woman who's given a chance, you feel almost in a position where you want to be just thankful for being here. I should be thankful for my spot. I should be thankful because if they didn't give it to me, they would just give it to someone else. And for a good part of my career, I did feel like that. Like, I was thankful there were so many other girls and I got the chance. And now I'm kind of like, fuck you. Give it to someone else. Let her make no money. I'll go do something else, because now that I have the opportunity to go to MMA and have money in sponsorships, and my fights are televised, I mean, to do a 6 weeks training camp, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense no more.
I love that saying. It's one of my favorite sayings in the world. And it's so true. Where do you train MMA?
At Henzo Gracie, Manhattan. I used to train in Williamsburg, but because of the switch in jobs and stuff, now I'm training mostly with Henzo.
Okay. And I know you train with Jennie.
Yes.
Jennie has told me that you guys iron sharpens iron.
Yes. We've been sparring for a while.
I was just going to ask, how long have you guys been sparring together?
2 years, yeah.
I've been picking my liver out of my ass for the past 2 years. Yeah, pretty much.
Shut up.
She's
such a liar.
She keeps me grounded, that's for sure. Block your body. Otherwise, I'll be shitting your rib out next day.
She exaggerates as she kicks me in the chin 100 times, right?
When you guys are sparring together as friends, like, how do you get into the mentality, like, okay, the friend goes off, like, the friend side goes off, and now it's go time, like, I don't know if I'd be able to hit my friend in the face.
If anything, I think we hit each other harder.
Yeah, because I want to do it, and not let some bitch surprise her in the ring.
Right.
Let me do it. Let you find it out in here. Instead
That's
of
awesome.
It really does, though, because we can really push each other.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like, nobody's gonna push you harder than
your
your
best
best friend.
friend.
Yeah.
You know, because when she lost, I felt like, fuck, I was the worst sparring partner. And when I lost, she was like, I'm so sorry, I was a horrible sparring partner. And we're both like, shut up! Right? But you really feel that because you take on the responsibility. I'm gonna help you get ready for a fight. So if you don't win, I feel like I didn't give you enough for it.
Oh, wow. I kind of feel like everybody loses, and it's just a part of it's going to happen sooner or later. And you know what? When you have such great people around you, it just, you know what? It's like the bitter's not so bitter when you have the
Yeah, but you could also look at it in terms of it's never really a loss.
Yeah, it's true. It's a learning
Like,
lesson.
people are like, oh, after my last, oh, how did you feel after your loss? Same as I felt after my win, except for I had some stitches, right? I've won fights and gone back to the gym and felt like I lost because I wasn't happy with my performance. And throughout my amateur career, I had a lot of losses. Some losses where I went back and felt so good because I did better than I thought. So like you can't put too much emphasis on what you win and what you lose. Sometimes punk ass people walk away and like, oh, I won my fight. Like, bitch, you both lost. Nobody won your fight, right? You both lost, right? So you have to really just stay in your lane. You win, you lose, it doesn't matter. Like, stay focused on what you love. I love to fight.
Absolutely.
Eyes on your own paper.
Yeah.
Now, I know you do have stuff to do today, and I want to wrap this up because I want to get you, home to your babies and what you got to do. So is there anybody you want to thank, anything you want to get out there that we haven't talked about? Any sponsors, anything that you want to, the floor is yours.
I would like to thank my manager, Jamie. Honestly, she's like my wife.
Your work wife.
Right, like if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have brushed my hair or put on my makeup. She'll probably give me a snack on the way home. She's
Feed the models.
Right, she's in my group chat. And I love her so much. So thank you, Jamie.
All right. Well, I want to personally thank you so much for taking some time out of your Sunday and out of your day and your training to come and hang out with us.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys.
And I want to extend an invite to whenever you want to come down and co-host with us, and we'll get that rocking and rolling. And Jennie, anything you want to say?
I got to get her to a train.
Yeah,
She's my ride.
It was a pleasure
Very
having
dependent.
you.
Yeah, it was really great having you, Heather. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. In the Girls' Corner, until we see you next time. Heather Hardy, everyone. And cut. All right, guys, this is Kerry Stellar from In the Girls' Corner, and I am here with Jennie Nedell. We are at Law MMA, and Jennie is one of our co-hosts on In the Girls' Corner. Jennie, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. One, how excited are you that we're doing this whole project and it's all women, and except for our lovely on-field reporter, Mark Matthews, the only man allowed in the game.
He's a lucky guy.
He is a lucky guy. What does this mean for you in the realm of women, everything going on right now? 2018 seems to be a huge movement, and to me, it's just a sisterhood that isn't around and needs to happen.
It needs to happen because there's too many people looking to step on other people to get their way instead of just coming together and actually working together to get to that next step. It's easier to step on somebody. Let's work together and get to that next level.
As a team, we push forward and we do it together.
You have to.
Now, what do you do here at Law MMA? Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do day to day and what you do here and how, what you train, what classes you do?
I teach the kids programs 3 days a week, but I also have private clients, and I help Ray with the fight team. I'm the fight team manager.
Very, very cool. Now, I don't know if anybody knows, but Law MMA is Longo and Weidman. That's Ray Longo and Chris Weidman, and Ray Longo is arguably one of the best striking coaches in mixed martial arts. I'd have to say that. And tell us a little bit about their history.
About Ray and Chris, or just Ray on a whole?
Both.
I think Ray's just a separate entity of himself. He just brings you're very relaxed here. Most people walk in, they're like, oh my God, it's Ray Longo. And I'm like, look, and it's Ray. It's very comfortable. You walk in and you feel like you're a part of the family.
It's a home here. It's a team.
No, it definitely is. It definitely is. It's a full team, and everybody looks after everybody. It's just one big unity. It's nice.
I like that. One big happy family. And what do we always say here? Join the team.
Join the team.
Join the team.
Join the team.
All right. And we're going to bring on our other lovely co-host, Nicole LaMonaco. Nicole, come on down. Come hang out with us. Come sit in the middle.
Okay.
Come be the monkey in the middle.
Hey.
And this is Nicole LaMonaco. Nicole.
You take it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Is things good? Whoop, whoop. Should do that.
Nicole is our resident comedian in the Girls Corner. Nicole is, she doesn't have a background in MMA. However, she is going to be learning and more than willing.
I just took my first moment of a class here.
And killed it, by the way.
Thank you.
Killed it.
I'm excited to do more. I learned how to do a jab, a cross, and a hook, and a front kick, and a roundhouse kick. I felt like Chuck Norris. I was like, I got this.
That's why it looks so familiar. That's why I saw it.
There you go. Now, how did it feel training with Jennie? Jennie is a world champion. Jennie's a professional kickboxer. She's kickboxed everywhere.
I've done that too.
Yeah, you have. You have kickboxes.
It was awesome. I had no idea what I was doing, and she totally took the lead and was a great teacher and showed me the ropes. And I'm into it. I definitely want to learn more from her.
She's hooked.
Yeah,
That's it.
I am.
You ready for your first fight?
Yeah, not yet, but I will be. I'm excited to learn more. Totally.
Very cool. And I would love to bring on our male co-host, Mr. Mark Matthews. Please come on down, come hang out with the girls, come talk to us for a little bit.
Thank you. I won't be doing what she did with it.
Everybody, this is Mr. Mark Matthews. I'm going to say that. Our on-field reporter and our resident tattoo artist. Can you please tell everybody a little bit about yourself, what you do in general?
Overall, I've been tattooing pretty much since I was 17 years old. A little bit later in life, when I was about 32, 33, I embarked on a professional MMA career. I had a 14-fight career over the span of 5 years. Haven't fought in a few years. I had an injury that kind of derailed me. I tore my MCL while I was getting ready for a title fight in California. And just starting to get the itch again, and just got the opportunity to come and work with you guys. And this is something I've always wanted to do anyways, just kind of be on the other side of the ball. And especially if it's in a way that I can integrate tattooing as well as MMA, because they go hand in hand. And man, I'm just stoked to even have this opportunity and work with you guys, to be honest with you. A bunch of badass females. I'm gonna be like, these females are gonna kick your ass.
Couldn't be a better place for Mark. And what's really cool is, as much as I know a little bit about tattoos, I don't know the history of them, and I don't know a lot about them. I know Jennie has some very interesting tattoos that I couldn't tell you what they're called, but I do know that they look like they would be done in Thailand or Tibet, where you got the little whatever that thing.
Tattoo.
Yes,
It's called tattoo,
you know what it's called.
I thought
See,
it was a Flintstone.
the Flintstone tattoo.
Well, around BC, yeah, that's what it was.
Right, yeah. It was the Barney Rubble.
Can you tell us a little bit about how, a lot of people don't know that there is a crossover between mixed martial arts or martial arts and tattoos. And there's more tattoo artists that that train, and people don't realize that the worlds do cross over.
I know, there's actually been quite a few tattooers, that I know of who compete at a high level in jiu-jitsu tournaments and such. And the first tattooer that I knew of that actually, was an MMA fighter as well, and he fought at a pretty high level, was a guy out of California named Luke Stewart. And when I got into things, that's kind of who I looked up to, just to be like, all right, like if he can do this, I can do this. And I went on the run while I could, and man, I'm just happy to still be a part of it. And for me, when I started mixed martial arts, I feel like the self-honesty that you have to become a better fighter, like it made me a better tattooer as well, because I got to, if I suck at wrestling but I strike really well, well, I need to pick up my wrestling. So if my black and gray is on point but my color game sucks, well, if I want to be a well-rounded tattooer, I need to pick up my color game. And I just feel like a lot of the discipline that you learn in mixed martial arts to make yourself a better fighter, like you have to be honest with yourself. There's no hiding, there's no, the truth comes out always. And if you just take those parallels and put them towards other areas of your life, like, man, like how can your life not get better, So I'm just glad that I get to take two specific things and show people, hey, look, if you take these principles and put them here, it works out for you.
Absolutely. I guess you could kind of apply, and that's really the key to it, is if you can take something and apply it to what you're doing and, meld things together that you've done, that's a winning combination right there. Because you could kind of take something from everything. And I look at mixed martial arts and an MMA fight as like a chess game. I also look at it as, in a bizarre way, I was a competitive pool player, and this is the closest thing, weirdly so, to that world that I've ever walked into. And you wouldn't expect, and people like, how do you equate pool to mixed martial arts? I'm like, it's a team. Being on a pool team is you're with a team of people and you're with them all the time. You're training to be the best and be, the best team in nationals in Vegas. So you're training with, your team here at Longo and Weidman to be the best, kickboxer. And how is it with Ink Masters? I know you were on Acc-Mma. Did that help you with your career? But did they both help you to get used to it?
You know what? It did. Like at the end of the day, I'm not a big fan of TV land, and I walked like face first into it with Acc-Mma. But the great thing about Acc-Mma is, again, it was a humbling yet motivating experience, because I was like a big fish in a small pond, pretty well-known tattooer where I was from. And then I come and sit in a room, like going to Acc-Mma was just like getting a call to the UFC. Yeah, you're a badass, but there's a bunch of other badasses around there with you. And when I walked in the room, and I got to see like, wow, this person's better at that, this person's better at that. Even though we were all competing, like I was able to pick their brains. I used it to get an education also. And that might not have necessarily been the best time and place for it, but like, is there ever a bad time and place to learn something? You know what I mean? So, it definitely, I feel like I didn't perform to the best of my abilities, because I figured I would walk in an Acc-Mma with an extreme mental edge, because, man, just the pressure that you have walking out for a fight and just overcoming that, like through your camp, you have a bad sparring day, it starts putting self-doubt, in your head, am I ready, am I ready? But to just go out there and let your nuts hang, so to speak, regardless of whatever you have or whatever you're doing, I guess that's a male term. You guys probably wouldn't.
I think it's great. I just loved it. I thought that was let your boobs hang, whatever.
Like, long story short, I feel like I got my chest bumped in front of all of America, and it absolutely made me work harder at being a better tattooer, because although, I was doing pretty well up until that point, sometimes when you're gifted, it can be a gift and a curse, because if you're gifted and you're used to outshining everybody else's 100%, when you're just giving 30 to 50%, then you get accustomed to always giving 30 to 50%. And I got put in a position where I needed 100%. I wasn't necessarily used to giving 100%, so it just showed me that from that moment on, all out, I have to give 100%. There's nothing to be taken for granted. Like, if you have a talent, utilize it. It's almost your responsibility.
Absolutely, and if anybody knows anything about that, it's the woman sitting to the right of you, Jennie Nedell. She's been in there in the thick of it, and you've had how many fights, Jennie?
Amateur and professional together, about 55.
That's insane. Yeah. And I've looked up your record, and I didn't know that you had that many. I thought you had 20-something. Holy shit.
I'm old. I'm definitely up there, but...
Oh, you're my age. Stop it. I like that.
This game keeps you young, too. Like,
honestly, I'm in the best shape I've ever been in. you know, everyone says that usually you regress, you go backwards as you get older, more injuries, you can't work as hard, and everyone, even Ray, he says, you know, I don't get it, you just, as you get older, you keep getting better. Everything starts to click.
Yeah.
You just start to understand. He's like, you know, one of the first times I threw a punch, he goes, well, why would you throw that? Well, I don't know, you told me to. No, I want you to know why you did it. So now I'm starting to get, I'll throw this to come with that, so now I understand it. And when you understand it, you can utilize it better and become a better fighter. So actually teaching the kids and training other people, I start to realize my faults and my bad habits. And then, obviously, from my last fight, I learned that you really can't put your hands down at any point. There's always someone that can tag you. So, like you said, humbling.
Right, right. And like what I feel with this is like there's you don't regress, you just get smarter. You know what I mean? Like I took an extended break from training for a while. When I came back, a few of my coaches were like, "Man, you're almost better now than before you left." And that was because I knew I wasn't in as good a shape. And when you're not in as good a shape, you want to be technical because that way it keeps you from not getting tired. When you throw proper technique on your strikes, like it's almost effortless. And you know, once. Like when I was, you know, I used to have about 25 pounds more muscle on me, and I used to load up on everything. I wanted everybody to feel everything I touched them with. But now I get in the gym, you know, and I just try to flow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Faster and stronger at that point.
Absolutely.
And Nicole just had her first little mini lesson, so she got a really good taste of what it's like to, you know, throw your first punch, not really, you know how to throw an accurate punch, and Jennie's like, you were throwing some really heavy hitters at one point.
I have to say, listening to everything that you guys are saying, being a comedian, you're very much on your own. You're on a stage, you have no music, you have no...
there's no hype.
There's nothing that amps you. It's you and a stage and a microphone and a bunch of people looking at you like, make me laugh. So,
make me laugh, funny man.
Yeah, so now you're up there and you gotta do that. And you're alone, you're completely alone. I like hearing that you guys are a part of a team and you feel like you give 100% into what you're doing and being a part of something. I can't remember the last time that I actually was a part of a team in my life, unless it's, being at my job and working together as, a team to make a business flow in a certain way. I guess you could kind of put it that way, but being a part of a team where you guys all have the same common goal and have a vision together, not just coming in late and, you all have something that you're working forward towards, is something I'm very excited about doing in the Girls' Corner with all of you, because you had a vision that you started that was long before the three of us ever came along, and you stuck to it, and you believed in yourself enough to believe that you could get this far, and here we are together as a team to create something that could potentially, is going to be fucking awesome.
Absolutely, great.
The people behind you can either make or break you. Like, you're having a bad camp. The only people that are really gonna know that is like the Hyers or the Longos that are with you day in and day out and know that there's something going on, and they're either gonna reel you in or they're gonna leave you out to dry. So that's how you know if your team is gonna make or break you, and it could be the big difference in a camp. Not even in the ring, outside of the ring.
Yeah. I mean, and look at what I've literally, the people that are here, the people I've talked to the most in the last couple weeks. And I mean, it's the fact that you guys are all so on board and everybody's so excited to be a part of this. I'm honored because, like I said, I did start this out just with me. And, I always did want to have, a talk show with more people on it, but I didn't exactly know what I want to do. In the last couple weeks, this just kind of came together when I was talking to Jennie and I was talking to Nicole, and, you guys were so on board. And when JP had mentioned Mark, I was like, dude, let's do this. And you've been literally, I mean, I feel like we're a team, and it's to have that structure behind you and be able to say, hey, you know what, I'm not having a great day. I've reached out to, we've all talked, and I just want to be like a cheerleader. If anybody's having a debate, call me. I'll be the one to lift you up and blow your balloon up. I'm not going to pop it. I'm never going to be your balloon popper. It's just not me. I'm going to be the person who's, go team, go, as much as I can. And it's just what I try to do.
Well, like with this, a parallel that I see is like if you have a fight camp, you have people investing in you. And, you're selling them short if you don't go out there and perform your best. And here we are. I was going to say breast. That was a woman joke.
Smile 'cause it was just
Freudian
really
slip,
cute.
but, but I mean, we're all working separately yet together to complete a product, and that product is our performance. The product is our fight, almost, you know? So every episode that we give you guys, man, that's our dance. That's our fight. So we're gonna do everything we can to make sure you guys enjoy it.
It's like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer said, let's be independent together.
I love it. And yeah, I mean, we have so much things to bring to the table. We have, you know, a comedian, a tattoo artist and a fighter. We have a kickboxer. We have, I'm going to say it, Heather Hardy is going to be on from time to time when she can, when she has the time. And I mean, we have such a strong team of people in general. And the fact that everybody has something that they bring to the table and everybody has something different to bring to the table. And we all have very strong personalities. So for me to be able to bring a message to the world that, you know what, a lot of people don't realize that teamwork is a huge thing, and bring that out there and let people know that, like, you know, this is something that people should do and should strive for. I'm glad to bring that to the table and bring that to the forefront, you know. So I'm glad we're all doing it together. I'm really, really, really excited for what we're about to do. And, you know, we're going to start going to fights together and going to as many things as we can. If there's, you know, conventions we all want to go to, we're going to go to them. You know, tattoo, Comic-Cons, whatever. We're taking over the world. And I'm ready for it. I know you guys are.
Pinky in the brain, in the brain, in the brain, in the brain.
I'm going to say it right now, and I want everybody to just say a big, big thank you and hello to Chris Cyborg, who will be having a segment on the show Tuesday. I'm going to be calling her and doing a quick little.
That is awesome. Yeah. Hello, and thank you.
Thank you, yeah. Hey,
thank you to the women's featherweight champion.
The best female combatant of all time. Like, it sucks that she's had such a negative stigmatism attached to her by, like, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, like the bullying tactics of the UFC when they were trying to garner the, you know, get things together for the fight between she and Ronda Rousey. You know, I feel like they knew Ronda wouldn't be able to compete with her at 145, so let's make her kill herself and get down to 135. Like, Cyborg fought for her due a long time, you know what I mean, in multiple sports. And it's just good to see her finally get her due. You know, I don't know her personally, but everything I've ever seen of her, she's a positive person. She has a good aura to herself, and she absolutely deserves all the success that she's getting right now.
You know what really killed me watching the whole them putting together the trailer and stuff for her and Holly Holmes' fight, and people, you know, it was really funny because they made Chris look like a demon and everything, and Holly looked like this angel, and there was, you know, the halo around her, and it's just really
the preacher's
funny.
daughter.
But it's so funny because I don't know if you noticed, but Chris Cyborg wears a cross bigger than me. She has a giant cross on her at all times. She is so spiritual and so religious. So it really kind of kills me.
Right.
And at the end of the day, that's not going to carry the company everywhere because she's a beautiful face, but, you know, and she is talented, you know, but there's other girls out there that are a lot more talented.
There's levels of talent, though. There's levels of talent. And I mean, marketability, it's not a talent.
Yeah.
Marketability is not a talent. Anybody can have a marketable face. Anyone can throw on a marketable outfit and make themselves look good. But can you get in there and dance? You know, if they were the same weight class, who do you think would win between those two? There's levels to this shit.
Absolutely. And what she does to get to that weight, no one realizes that.
Yeah, I mean, she's a big woman. Like, she has.
Sorry. Okay.
I mean, she looks like she walks around at least 170.
Yeah, no, they said by the time she fought Holly, she was 168.
Oh, yeah, no, she walks around, I'd say, I would say I've seen the scale, like I've seen them put some stuff out there, and she walks around at least at 170 something.
But that's dedication.
Yeah.
She wants to fight, so she's going to do what she has to. She almost died that one camp.
And
I watched the videos.
And I
hear,
I mean, I wouldn't know because I'm not a woman cutting weight, but I hear that it's a lot harder for women to shed weight compared to a man. I've done 30 pounds in 3 weeks, 15 on the day of weigh-ins, and I mean, I had a drop in the fight, but like when the fight started, like I felt fine. So I can just imagine what it's like to cut all of that weight, you know, being a woman. And if you're 170 cutting to 130, 145, that's almost 20% of your body weight.
Yeah.
Actually, she's all muscle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got to get rid of muscle. That's close to impossible.
I mean, from a person that doesn't fight, how could you give up all the snacks and candy? I know we had McDonald's today. I don't think I could give that up for nobody's nothing.
That's what that smell is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, we had breakfast. We had McGriddles.
It was delicious.
It was the best breakfast I
I
ever
would
had.
Hey,
give it
McGriddles
up,
are the
though.
best breakfast menu item on any drive-through, hands down.
McDonald's, get on it. We want it our way. Oh, wait, that's Burger King. We want it our way. Our way.
We're loving it.
At McDonald's.
We're loving it.
We're loving it. We're loving in the girls' corner. So what else can you guys tell people about yourselves that they don't know? Nicole, we're going to start with you. I mean, apart from, you're a comedian, you've performed at Caroline's, correct?
I've performed at Caroline's on a Monday night, which is the amateur night there. I was never on the main stage, but I'm working my way up there. I performed in the Little Room at Governor's, and I produce a lot of my own private shows at the Villa Monaco and Villa Monaco in West Islip and Sea Cove in Cinema Riches. And progressing, I used to work with someone else producing, and now I've taken a step on my own direction. And I have a show coming up in a week, this Friday actually, January 19th, which I'm really excited about.
If you want to come down, I will be there.
I have some big names, Carrie Caravis and Terry McNeely and Mike Keegan. So I'm really excited to be working with them. These are all people that in the beginning of my career in comedy have seen something in me and have given me opportunities and have showed me the way of comedy, and I want to give it back to them. I have a room. I'm able to book them on my show and give back, which is...
And can you tell people about who your cousin is? Because you know what, a lot of people that are mixed martial arts did grow up watching wrestling. A lot of people, and a lot of our fans actually still do.
Sure, absolutely. My cousin is Bully Ray. He goes by, otherwise Bubba Ray Dudley, who I just spent the weekend with. Actually, he dropped me off at the ferry this morning before I got here, and I was parading around his house wearing all his championship belts and putting my glasses on and doing the 3D and like being a nerd. It was fun. It was a good time. So yeah, kudos to him. He's the
Nicole's
champ.
family has some pretty cool background. Your cousin Gina tried out for the Olympics.
My cousin Gina, which I'm rocking her shirt, G-Volution Fitness. She's got a gym that she owns up in Maine, and it's awesome. It's super inspiring. They're throwing tires, they're lifting kegs, they're deadlifting. They're doing all sorts of crazy shit.
She tried out for the Olympics with disc throwing.
Yeah, she was a discus thrower. She made it to the Olympic trials, so that was huge for her.
She get dizzy a lot.
You would think, right? You would think. She's amazing. My cousin Gina is definitely one of my biggest inspirations in my life. The girl, she's got heart, man. She's got a lot of heart. So I take that with me.
Very nice.
yeah.
And what about you, Mark? Anything that people don't know about you? Anything, a little history about Mark Matthews?
Man, like if there's one thing that I would say like through the course of my life that I'm pretty proud of, it's just that if I wanted to do something, I just did it. You know, like when I was younger, I messed with music. You know, when I was really young, I got into tattooing. You know, I've been tattooing since before it was a cool thing to do. And man, just like if people knew my background history, like people who come from the places and the type of household that I came from, like they usually don't become a success. They become a statistic. And I've always been so dead set against being that. Like, I want to be the guy that everyone's like, wow. You know what I mean? Not necessarily like, oh, like, look at that guy, but just I want to show people that no matter where you come from, no matter what your circumstances are, if you want something, man, just go get it. It's simple. It's just as simple as making the choice and following through with your choice. You know, granted, there's been times in my life that I probably could have made better choices, but whatever choice I made it 100%. You know, sometimes it got me in trouble. Sometimes it got me a nice check to cash, so.
I say that all the time. If I fuck up, I'm fucking up hard. I'm doing
Yeah,
the
I
thing.
mean,
Go big or go home.
Absolutely.
And Jenny, what about you? I mean, I know a lot about your background, but is there anything that you would like people to know about
I mean,
you?
kind of along the same lines as Mark. If you want it bad enough, you can do it. I mean, I have a full-time job. I find time if it's 10 o'clock at night or if I'm here with Longo on the weekends. I get my work in. I'll help anybody out to keep, because this is my passion. So if you want it bad enough, you can do it. There's nothing stopping you. I'm a firm believer in that.
And I can say this just by knowing everybody's background. We everybody here in the Girls Corner has been through a little something in their lives that have kind of brought us all to what we're doing and where we're at. I mean, every single person in here has been through some hardships, and I just think that there's something huge to be said for that. You know, we've all overcome something. I've overcome addiction, my shoulder injuries, you name it, it's happened to me, and that's what brought me to doing all this and interviewing fighters and, you know, trying to be something, because you know what, you can't just sit there and cry about it forever. You know, I fell down the stairs. Oh well, you know, God pushed me down the stairs, and I took those lemons and made lemonades and started doing this. So you
I
know,
learned I can fall down the stairs and be okay.
yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, hey, if you can fall down the stairs and be okay, that's a beautiful thing. You are a monster. But it shows that they're really, you know, people don't realize that you don't. It's okay to fall on the floor, but it's not okay to stay down there.
Stay there, absolutely.
Because you don't belong there. You know, and I think that that's something that's so lost on people, that parents, oh, you don't cry, I mean, listen, there's no crying in baseball. I get it. But you know what? You're allowed to throw shit. You're allowed to, but just make sure you get up off that floor at the end of the day and pick yourself up and dust yourself off, because you don't belong down there. And I think if that's any big message we can give to, you know, young people watching, that's, to me, huge.
Oh, no, when I teach my kids, if they say can't, they have to do at least 50 burpees.
Ah!
Every time. I just had one do it twice yesterday. They do 100 burpees.
That is
Don't tell
awesome.
me you can't. You absolutely can.
Say I will not instead, because that's the choice.
I mean, you learn it.
That is a choice.
It is a choice. Can't is a choice.
Absolutely. So, guys, we are going to be wrapping up over here, because I know I want to get some filming of you guys doing a little sparring and pad work, and maybe get Nicole in there, and it'll be fun. So, everybody, say something about yourself. Give a little shout out to whoever you want to. I'm going to say, this is Kerry Stellar. Thank you so much for joining in the Girls Corner, and thank you guys so much for coming and being a part of this.
Thank you to Chris and Ray letting us have the gym for today and stuff. So
thank you very much, Chris and Ray. We really appreciate that big time.
Absolutely. Thank you to my kids for being my inspiration and my motivation forever forward.
I just want to thank my cat for always being there when I get home and I'm lonely. Thank you. No, I want to thank you, Kerry, for bringing me a part of this journey, and both
Absolutely.
of you for letting me learn from you guys and learning new things. So thank you for having me a part of this.
Anytime, guys. And again, stay tuned to In the Girls Corner. We have a lot of stuff coming up. We have Heather Hardy is going to be in the first episode. We have Chris Cyborg is going to be in the first episode. I just wanted to thank our sponsors, Island Outdoor LLC. Justin Martin is a very good friend of mine. He also owns Lava Lock. You can look them up. It's all over my Facebook, my Instagram. I will put a post up, and you can look for them on Facebook. You can look for them on the web. It's, again, Island Outdoor LLC and Savage for Men Clothing, and we will all be having some stuff sent to us from them. Savage Girl and Savage for Men. So we're going to have some hats and T-shirts and everything like that. So we just wanted to thank our sponsors.
And we wanted to give a shout out to Alexa Selleck for doing our makeup this morning. You did a great job. If you guys ever want to check out her work, it's at Alexa's Makeup Bag on Instagram. She took some time out of her day to make us beautified, and I just wanted to give a shout out to her.
And again, thank you so much to Chris Weidman and Ray Longo for allowing us to use your gym and to film out of here, because this is, I would say, arguably, and I would be an idiot if I didn't say, you know, our biggest sponsor, because this is where we're filming out of. So again, guys, welcome to In the Girls Corner. Stay tuned, because we have a lot of stuff coming up. Peace out.
Okay, Chris Cyborg, hi. This is Kerry Stellar from In the Girls Corner. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
No problem. Thank you. My pleasure to be here, and thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure, and it's an honor. Congratulations on all your success in and outside of the cage. You are the epitome of what a women's champion should be. How great is it to finally be getting that recognition and respect that you deserve?
You know, I'm really happy. I'm training really hard. I'm very thankful for all my team, my fans. You know, I thank God for being ready. You know, and for always, you know, believing and keep training and keep getting better every time. And you know, for me, can you know be ready for any situation I have in my career. You know, and I'm very thankful for that.
That's great. It's a beautiful thing, and you're such a great champion. And the importance of women and how we're treated and in life and inside of the cage. Do you feel a responsibility being the women's featherweight champion for the UFC to kind of be a role model for women?
One thing when I was start training, and then I no fight for me, I fight for all the women. For the women who have the opportunity to fight in UFC now, it's a big deal because before they say never gonna have a girls in UFC, and then we have the opportunity, and then we do the best we can, and then we show the women can fight, and the women can have a lot of followers, a lot of fans who like to watch girls, and then it make me really motivate, keep doing my job and open the door for all the women and fighting for equal rights for all the women. Like the men have the opportunity, have all the vision. I like to fight for all the women have the same things as the guys. And if men's getting paid very well, the girls have to get paid very well to make the same job. It's the same thing. And this is I fight for, and then I really motivate for keep doing this, getting better in the sport for all the women.
I love it. I love it. You are, and you're such a champion for the women. Now, you have a black belt or a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because it's amazing that you have such a background in Jiu-Jitsu with, winning IBJJF, and you have an amazing wrestling background, and you don't hardly take girls to the ground, which you can.
I train everything. You always when you fight, you have to prepare for any situation can happen in the fight. But I never have the time for the opportunity for can show my ground game. But I always keep training. I'm a brown belt jiu-jitsu training for Cobrinha in Los Angeles. My wrestler too. I was computer wrestler before in Brazil, and I never had the opportunity. But I think one day, like Holly Holm did me 5 rounds, with her, and then maybe the others fight, have the opportunity for me can show a little bit more about Cyborg, and people can know, a little more. It's MMA fight, you can supposed to show everything, but the sport going, and maybe one day.
That I am looking forward to. I can't wait to see you submit someone one day in an MMA fight. You grew up in Curitiba, Brazil. Now, you were discovered playing handball, which is
Yes.
people don't know how aggressive of a sport it is. And do you feel that helped you be the fighter that you are and the best MMA fighter on the planet?
I think I always say that God has perfect plans for everyone, And then for me, I started practice sport when I was 12 years old. I was doing track and field and the handball, and I feel like the time of the sport helped me. I had a hard time with my family, have some struggles, and I feel like the sport helped me forget everything and be happy. And because as I into the sport, and I have a scholarship from doing handball. And after I was in university, I was 19 years old already, and I was playing handball. And then one guy saw me there, and he talked to me, and they said, "I think you can be a great fighter." And I look at him like, "Okay, but I'm happy what I'm doing." And then he's always talk to me, and yeah, go to my gym. But I really don't have any interest about fighter. They be a fight, nothing. And then when I did my first training, Muay Thai training, I really like, and then I was very athletic because I think the other sport I did giving me coordination, giving me strength, because I was not just playing handball, but somebody else needs somebody basketball, I go. Somebody needs volleyball, I go. Soccer, I go. I do everything. I would like it. I like compete. I like, learning new things. And then
You're a
when I
natural
start
athlete.
fighting, yeah, when I started fighting, and then I did my first fight, I lost my first fight. I have an injury in my elbow. But after that fight, I said, man, I think I'm born for do this. It's no have a red card. I can do whatever I want. And then I don't know, I have so much anger in my heart inside the cage, really. And I can put outside. And then so funny because when I was a kid, my brother had to pick me up in school because people bully me there. And I was never fight anybody. And I have my ass kicked, my butt kick outside in my school. My brother started picking me up ever in the school because I the kids don't like me, and then I have a hard time and they bully me. And I was never thinking be a fighter, you know, I was never thinking. And then funny because all my friends say, Chris, if then people do interview with us, they're gonna tell the people kick your butt, you always run, you don't wanna fight. And I say, man, don't do that. People don't know me like this. But you know, and I'm really happy, you know, and then I find where I come from, you know, I come from be a fighter, and I think all the sport helped me just for getting better, athletic, and then motivate more, you know, for be a fighter. And now here I am, you know, I don't think I may have talent when I born, you know, be a fighter, but I think I'm training really hard, and this is making me getting better each time.